Hello everyone, and welcome back to So Many Games So Little Time, our podcast where Evangelos and I talk about board games. In part 2 of our first podcast ever, we are talking about Kickstarters that have arrived and Kickstarters that we're interested in that are active at the moment or maybe have just finished, I guess. So let's dive right into it, shall we? Kickstarter Delights, because it delights us because they've arrived. So what has arrived at yours?
I received Bantam West. The competitor to Western Legends.
Yeah.
And I haven't played it yet. I just got it, but
you unboxed it?
I unboxed it. I reboxed it and did all that, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. I have no idea how it works. It seems to have a very strong narrative in the game, and
that's the one where you start. That's the one where you start as like a merchant or a trader or whatever, or you choose your role right at the beginning of the game.
There seems to be 4 characters, all with specific roles.
Okay, all right. Cool.
So whereas with the Western Legends, there were dozens of roles, right? You just got to call, and I don't know if you can swap and change. I almost know nothing of the game. I just got it. I was looking forward to getting it. The publishers seem to put a lot of passion into producing this game. When you've been following them on Kickstarter and their updates, so I think this game is very much a passion project, and I'm looking forward to trying it because I love Western Legends.
Yeah,
and let's see how it keeps up, how it holds up.
Well, hopefully they both have their own spot. Hopefully they're both worth keeping. Let's put it like that.
Were you tempted by it when it was on Kickstarter?
No, because we had the discussion in our top 100 that I thought, like, I don't want to be one person. I want to feel the freedom of whatever. And then you said, yeah, but you can still go every direction anyway. It doesn't really matter if you start as this person and whatever. And I was like, yeah. But then I said the same thing you said like 10 minutes ago. I was just convincing myself not to make it. And because I already had Western Legends and yeah. And in a way, I don't want to, I do in many cases, but in a way, like if you have a game where you've got everything for it, you kind of don't want another game to be better because then it's like, really, I invested that much time and money in this, and now this other one is better, and I have to get rid of this.
But I'm hoping it's good in its own way. So, we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'll be curious to hear more about it down the line. Yeah. For me, most of them I already mentioned. The 2 that I received that I haven't mentioned is Dreadful Meadows, which is like a very...
That's one I wanted. That's another one I wanted. I didn't back.
Yeah,
I think I didn't back it because there was no miniatures. I hate standees.
Yes, and it's also weird because it's all like Halloween, and then the standees are harvesters, and some people are like, why? It's like it doesn't make sense.
I really wanted that game.
It's cute. Yeah, it's very cute. I haven't played it yet, but it's very cute, and it's...
Where does it seem on the complexity level?
Oh, I think it's fairly... When I read the rules, it didn't seem very complex. I can't play with my daughter yet. It's too much complex for a 5-year-old. But according to BGG, it's 2 out of 5. So it's not exactly crazy difficult. But actually, I backed it based on the brothers.
Morph.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Because I saw them play it and they were also really hyped about it. Of course, it's a channel, take it with a grain of salt. But then even when I read the rule book, I really liked it. But once again, Marvel Zombies arrived. So
I just say, it's like how superficial I am. I think if it came with miniatures, I would have bought it.
Well, you can always use your miniatures from Monsters on Board, By the way, my last Kickstarter is your fault.
Which one? Witcher?
Yes. The Witcher Old World arrived. Yeah. And then funny thing is, several like Julie, who lives with us and helps us, she loves The Witcher. And then when she saw the box, it's The Witcher? It's a game? It's like also like really interested. And yeah, of course, everything that when we played the game together, once again, Yeah, I made an unboxing. I don't really know why, because the game's out for a long time now. I'll probably put it on the channel just because I was so happy to get it.
Yes.
And but the reboxing was a chore. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm happy it's done. So yeah, really looking
I don't
forward.
know. What do you think of the putting two boxes on top of each other to make one super box? I'm wondering about that. It's probably better
Weird,
than two. Sorry,
weird.
weird. But at least it's all in one place, I guess.
Well, yeah, and it fits perfectly into a calyx at least, because I'm looking back because it's behind me. At least it fits nicely into the calyx. That's one thing. Um, yeah, it's better than I saw the Dead by Daylight 3 box.
Okay.
That is really bad. It's like really wide and flat. And I think it covers two calyxes, but you can't put it in there because it's too wide, too long. Basically,
Yeah,
title blades. So it can always be really bad. I mean, it's a bit special, but I guess it works. You know, yeah, I guess it works.
Are you
I
gonna
don't.
paint The Witcher? That's
Of course,
probably
I
my
say
next project.
I always say I'll paint everything. So
Yeah,
eventually,
I'll get
but
there eventually. Yeah.
yeah, because
Uh,
I got the special Squidmore paint brushes that were also Kickstarter now, and they're standing
no
behind me. Nice
excuse. So
and
now you got
proud.
no excuse.
Yeah, well, I always have excuses. Anyway, I
So
think
then,
yeah. Anything else that you have that you arrived?
I got Voidfall. I got Septima, which is the other game by Mindclash,
Oh yeah. Well,
which
that's
is
the one.
the
That's the one
Euro
I.
game.
That's the one I doubted for, but then in the end didn't back
I
because I,
think I come to the point now where if I'm going to start cutting down on Kickstarters, I'm going to focus on companies, and Mindclash will be one of those I will always support
yeah.
because that's that heaviness that I really love and the production value. It's a combination of really good games. I love all their games, and the production value is great. They're really beautiful games at the same time. So I think, yeah, that's a back unseen for me.
Well, I had to convince myself I wasn't crazy about the theme and I wasn't crazy about the look. And I was like, yeah. But a voice in the back of my head was saying, like, yeah, you're probably going to regret this. Yeah, but I can't back everything. So whatever, voice. so, so I guess we'll see how it ends up being. I hope it's cool. I hope it's cool, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
I think, and I've got notice that tomorrow I'm getting Delta coming in.
What is Delta? Like
That's from Game
team-based
Brewers.
shooter?
It's the game by Game Brewers.
Hmm.
So
Oh, it doesn't.
the Belgian company.
Yeah, I know. Because I was about to say I burned myself with Game Brewer because I thought I really liked all their games, but then I backed to several, and then I was like, no, maybe not.
Which was it those?
The last one was
Hippocrates. You didn't like Hippocrates.
yes, no, I really didn't like that.
Okay.
No, I mean I liked the idea, but the production was so overblown, so and then the mechanics, while nice, basically too much table space in general. Like if I can't even
But that's
yeah.
every game now. That's virtually every game now.
Yeah, but the thing is, with that game, you're treating patients, right? So
I've heard
you
of
have say you have your doctor, and then you attach it to a patient. But
Yes.
then if you attach it to another patient, it might sprawl to the left or to the
Yeah,
right.
and the tiles are really big, but
Yes, and then it can. My point is, it can go in any direction, and then you don't know if you want to play really well. You should not care about that. But I found myself caring about which way it goes because otherwise I have to remove the whole table around. And I don't know. I don't know. I thought I don't know. I sold my deluxe copy, so yeah,
liked it. I actually gained the expansion for it with my copy of Delta.
yeah. Because there's another thing. Like if you never buy the expansion, then the main board is way too big because the main board in the deluxe edition already had room for the expansion,
Expansion,
which
yeah.
is like,
I forgot about that. Yes.
I mean, I understand in a way, but not everyone's gonna buy the expansion. So, but anyway, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm from Belgium, all power to them. But I've realized most of their games are not my cup of tea, actually, sadly. All right, let's go to the next section, which is Kickstarter Fever. Which current
Yes.
Kickstarters are you excited about?
Okay, so you see, we both talking about Dragon Eclipse, right?
Well, yes, you go first.
No, Pokemon, right?
Yeah,
Pokemon. a cool Pokemon. It's just a bizarre concept, right? They're going to try and get that LCG feel, even with its own wrapped cards that you have to open up, booster packs that you open up.
Mm-hmm.
You go on this narrative campaign, solo or two players. You win monsters to help you later on. You choose which ones you want to go on adventures with. It's such a wacky idea, and it just seems so cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It
But
just seems like sorry.
the reason why I was like a little bit hesitant is because up until today,
Mm-hmm.
I had it with stretch pay, right?
Yes.
Because I'm supposed to be saving money, and I cut down on like there's only two things that I backed this month, and I'll talk about the second one in a second. And the second one makes more sense. You'll see later.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I'm like, I like it. I like the idea and everything. But in the end, a part of me is saying, yeah, but it's just Pokemon. You know, is it worth paying? How much is it? $264 plus $60 shipping. I mean, okay, that's going all in, but that's what we tend to do, right? We tend to go all in. So we're talking about $320 for Pokemon, right? And okay, the miniatures are nice, and and you can buy Sundrop, but I don't want to do that because I want to paint, but I don't paint.
Yeah.
So, and you've got all those extras that come, and I think maybe that's something that once again I can play with my kids down the line. But does it? Because there was a huge discussion. Huge. There was a discussion about someone saying like, "Oh, you don't need to back Kickstarter or GameFound because it's gonna come back in retail, la 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 la." But some games are not. Like this might be one that doesn't go to retail at all. Because it's Awakened Realms. How many Awakened Realms games do you find out in the wild? Unless those companies actually backed the Kickstarter, I don't see many core boxes, or it's just really the basic version, right? So yes. I don't know. I'm excited about it, but on the other hand, I'm like, because stretch pay, right, makes it all easier. Yes. It's like, all right, it's not $300. It's only, it's only that. And then later on, it's shipping. Shipping is way later, don't worry about shipping. And then we might have charged you double by then. Who knows? But don't worry about it. So I don't know, because I have I think like 3 games on stretch pay now. That would be the 4th. And I don't know if you've been taught that, but I've been taught that buying on credit, because that's what you're doing, right, is evil, because it makes you think you're not spending any money. But if you do it many times, you realize, oh crap. And that is what happens to a lot of people who end up in financial problems when they check their bank accounts. Why are you paying for all this stuff? Oh, I got it on credit. So it's a bit, I don't know, to be honest. And I think that should be enough for me to say no. But then the other part of me is like saying like, yeah, but it's Pokemon though.
Pokemon. I'm excited about the narrative campaign.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the branching idea, the branching parts and all that.
But you don't see that much in the you don't know, but I guess you could say it's Awakened Realms. Their stories are always good. Exactly. So it should be quality. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. How about you though? Do you have any stretch pay games?
I've got to check
off the top of your head, or
I can't think because I can't remember which ones have done it.
Because for example, the ones that I had were the Elder Scrolls, because that was also
I didn't back Elder Scrolls.
Planet Unknown, I did that one.
Yes, that's one I did. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Isofarian Guard, second printing.
Yeah, I already have that game.
Yeah. Have you played it?
No. I want to, but again, and I will play because it's solo. I'm waiting for the holiday just to really commit myself to it.
But it has a really good reputation, which is why I wanted it.
Right. Well, it looks fantastic. When I was putting it together, and I thought to myself, you know what, this is the kind of game like with Gloomhaven. I want to play it all one go.
Yeah, exactly.
I could leave it on the table for a long time. So
well, this summer I'm not going anywhere. The idea is to not go anywhere, to just stay in Hong Kong, and then I might finally have some time to play Midara, play, maybe
games like that.
again or whatever. Yeah, a lot of campaign games. Hopefully, we'll see.
Stalker was the other one I did on that
Stretch Pay.
just pay. That was one.
Yeah.
So I think it's mainly their games.
Yeah, yeah. I think don't get me wrong. I think Stretch Pay is good, but you just have to be careful because before you know it, you're stretch paying a number of stuff. So people at home, don't do it too much. Okay.
But I think it makes sense when it's these huge investments.
Yes,
Simon allowed you to stretch pay. So
yeah,
maybe it makes sense for the big games.
Yeah. Well, okay. We'll talk about that some more later. What else are you excited about?
I'm back in Final Girls season 3.
Mm-hmm.
I got the first 2 seasons. The game is amazing. The game's great. Beautiful production. The theme just oozes through. Like, I also used to really enjoy Hostage Negotiator.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where it feels like a campaign game, but in a very short, but in one session, right? It just feels like the narrative just comes through, even though there's no real narrative in some ways. And I know it's all. Have you played any of that? Have you played Hostage Negotiator?
Well, I have everything as far as I know from Hostage Negotiator, including Career, and that is really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. But then that also stopped me from backing Final Girl because I'm not necessarily a horror fan. And then I was like, it looked very similar, but then people say it actually makes it better.
Much better.
Yeah.
And the way you can swap and change, you can change your lead character, you change the monster, you change the location. It's just so much, and it also comes in a beautiful production with a huge box with each episode in, like the old school VHS tapes, you know.
Okay, the most important question: does it have stretch pay?
It's on Kickstarter. That's the thing. It's on Kickstarter.
But those you can buy in the wild, right? I've seen them many in stores and everything.
Yes,
and on Amazon.
But it's just the extras maybe and the big box. But even the big box, I think you can find someplace, but it's very difficult to get hold of it.
I think for this one, I wouldn't really care because, like, for Hostage Negotiator, you also had like the extras where you can actually buy printed meeples and everything. Like, I don't care about that.
I think those extras, like for example, this small expansions like vehicles, or there was like an extra episode like based on The Birds by Hitchcock, things like that. But it's a really cool system for solo play. It's really, really fun. So it's really good.
Yeah, see these videos, these podcasts, it's really bad for my wallet, is it?
Yeah.
I guess I have to look at it again. The second one that I was talking about, which makes more sense, is Deep Rock Galactic, because it has second edition, but it has 2 expansions out. And I really liked the first one because it was in my top 100. But it felt like a typical beer and pretzels dungeon crawler with some nice miniatures and a cool theme because of the game and everything. But now they basically made it more, I would dare say they made it more like a game. Like they added more different missions, like escort missions. Well, I took notes. They have like escort missions where you have like this big drill dozer that you have to escort to like this even bigger Omoran Hearthstone. Processing where you're basically on a map, but you're lying down like tubes that attached to a refinery and pumping while critters come out and stuff like that. You have a campaign mode again. They have secondary challenges, upgrades. You have 4 new biomes. And all those biomes have their different effects when you're there. Like one is like a magma core, so there's like lava all over the place. Fungus bogs, which is more poison probably. Azure Weald, which looks a bit magical. It's a bit stranger. And then you've got Glacial Strata, which is like ice, so you're sliding all over the place. Hazards, has just a bunch of upgrades in general. Now you also have the rig. So basically one big like mobile base that you can upgrade and have like lasting upgrades for the rest of the campaign and everything. And I mean, the campaign has like about more than 7,000 backers already. So I think that attests to its popularity. I mean, I'm sure a bunch of people have never played before and they're backing now. But if
the game fit into the original box? the add-on.
No way. No
Yeah.
way. Because there's like a bunch of new creatures and everything as well, miniatures, of course.
That sucks.
So yeah, for sure, be 2 boxes. Yeah, and I hope this time the box will be better because my last box was split.
When you
But,
painted it, 'cause it looks pretty
stop
awful.
asking if I painted it because my answer is always no. You
That's
should
cool.
ask, do you want to paint it? Oh, yes, of course. Basically, there's 2 things that I say in my videos. I want to paint it and it doesn't happen. And I want to make a solo video. Half of the time it doesn't happen because I don't have time. But that fits with my channel name. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. You're going to say?
No, I'm just saying the miniatures were beautiful when I saw them.
Yeah, well, maybe, you know what? Maybe I should outsource them because I remember the first time I painted, you were like, I'll give you my minis, you paint them for me. And I said, no. And now it's the other way around. I'll give my minis to you, you paint them for me.
Yeah.
All right. What else are you looking for?
I'm also back in the Beast expansion because again, I want the miniatures.
Yeah.
So I like the game. I don't know if you like it.
I liked it, but I had to cull my collection, and my friends really liked it, so I just gave it to them. I didn't sell it. I just said, you guys like it. You live in the same village as me. If I want to play it, I can always come and play it to your place, at your place. Problem is, with those kind of games, if I'm not the beast, I'm not really interested.
I like both sides whenever I play these one versus many games.
Yeah, but it's purely a me problem because if I have to cooperate in a setting like this, I don't want an alpha game, so I defer too much. You know what I mean? I turn into a spectator more. Like yeah, okay, that sounds good, and some I might think like this is not, but we'll just do it anyway because they're having fun, and that's the point. So it was like, yeah, and even with miniatures, it wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a good game, but yeah, okay.
But the one thing that I didn't like about the game was the standees, so now that fixes that.
Yeah, and also they did some weird stuff with the bases and everything. I think it was like a printing problem or whatever. But yeah,
that didn't work. And the other one I'm thinking of backing, I'm kind of backing, is that a game called Fromage.
Ah, yes, cheese.
The cheese one, yeah.
It looks cute.
It looks cool, and it's got like this rotating board, and it's like a worker placement.
You know what? It looks like a game that could be, maybe it is, that could be designed by Simone Luciani. Because it looks like similar to like Newton and everything.
It does, but the biggest thing is it's 3.2 complexity, but they say it's only 30 to 45 minutes long. So I don't know. Yeah. But the rotating board, I really like that. The board rotates, and then you deal with that little quarter of the board for that round, and then you turn it, and then you change the game state for that side of the board for the next player. So I think it's a really interesting mechanic.
Yes. Yeah. Doesn't like Age of Rome has like a similar thing?
I think it does, yeah.
And they're supposed to arrive soon for me. But okay, you have viticulture, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So then one evening you play Fromage and viticulture, and you have wine and cheese.
But do you know that wasn't there a mini expansion for viticulture? I've never played it. There was a cheese. I can't remember.
No, that's just the expansion where you cheat.
But so cheese and wine, you're right. Yeah. But anyway, it just looks like a very clever, interesting mechanic, and the look is very interesting too. The very unique art. So that's the one I'm backing.
Yeah, it's what I've started checking now on Board Game Geek is that like this comes out in 2024, right? But it already has ratings and comments, and I never checked those comments before. And the last couple of weeks I've been actively checking because sometimes people are like, oh, I played the prototype, it's really cool because of la 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 la.
Yes.
So for example, here I'm just checking right now, even though you can't see it, but there's a guy called Maximal Terror.
Yes.
And he says that how his friend placed it and has like a whole review of Fromage. I'm not going to read it now. It is seriously long. But if you want to, you can. Oh my God, it's really long. It's 3,000 words. 3,000 words. So if you're interested, you should go check it.
Is it positive at least?
It says 3,000 words later. Anyway, I like Fromage.
That's what I need to
There's
know.
a bunch of other stuff.
Tildo.
Yeah. So yeah, TLDR. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, for anyone who wants to really check the review that person did. But now, I mean, I never realized that people will leave it there because I always check the forums, but never those comments. So anyway, you might think, oh my God, you don't know. But yeah.
So the other one I'm like hovering about, I haven't backed, but the other one game called Founders. That looks really beautiful. But it also looks like an abstract game. So I don't know. It's the same team that made Ice.
Ah, yes. Yes. I think, yes, that rings a bell. Yeah.
So that's the other one I haven't backed, but I'm looking at that one.
All right. So I guess that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so that was the end of part 2. Part 3 will be all about Kickstarters on the horizon, Kickstarters that are on the way but not active yet. Part 4 will be about a specific topic that we talk about every 2 weeks. So stay tuned for that. Until then, have a very nice day, and well, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.